Hey, this is Mr. Willis. I'm going to show you how to use the Lasso Tool. This is another one of those slightly more advanced tricks, so watch closely. All right, just to kind of let you know where I'm at here. Before I did this video, I created a shape using something else called the Quick Selection Tool. You can look at my other videos to see exactly how I did this. But now that I've got this kind of outline of an X-wing, I see a couple of things that I want to change. First of all, if I make this one invisible and the X-wing visible, you'll see I should have just an empty space here, which is just filled in on my X-wing, so I want to fix that. I also think it'd be kind of cool if I have like at least just the windshield from the cockpit in there, so it's not just a solid thing here, but kind of makes it look a little more X-wing like. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to first go over to my layers thing. Now, in case you didn't notice what I'm doing here, this is a fun little trick. With any of my layers, they all have an eyeball next to them. You see that? It's not gross, don't worry about it. And what I can do is if there's an eyeball there, it means I can see that layer. If I click on the eyeball and take it away, that layer becomes invisible. It's still there, nothing's been deleted, but it's just out of the way because I want to look at what's behind it. Okay, and then also always remember, if I'm going to work with a particular layer, whichever one is dark here is going to be the layer I'm working on. And in this case, I want to start by working on the background layer. Okay, so I've clicked on my background layer, and this lasso tool is over here. Now it might look like mine. Right now mine's set on the polygonal lasso tool, but you might also see something that looks like this, which is just the regular lasso tool, or this magnetic lasso tool. Okay, to switch between them, you just click and hold your mouse for a second, and these other ones will pop out. The one that I really like using the most from here is probably this polygonal one. Now the idea of this tool, whoops, sorry, my tool's going a little crazy there. There we go. Let's bring that back. There we go. The idea with this tool is that you're going to make a polygon, which is just a shape, with a certain number, 3 or more sides to it. And so I have that tool selected, and then I'm going to come over here to my shape, and in order to select the windshield area, I'm just going to click once on each corner. So I'll click on this corner, and then I'll click on this corner. I'll come down here to this one, and then I'll go over here to this one, and then I'll come back up here and meet back where I started. And you'll see, since I clicked back where I started, it's kind of connected it up there. And so now that's its own little shape. Now what I can do with this, you may have seen this in another video, is I can kind of create a new layer and fill in with this one. Or I can just fill in something on an existing layer. So what I'm going to do is come over here, and I'm going to make my red layer appear. Notice that it's still got the little shape there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click on this layer too, so that it's darkened. That means I'm going to work on this layer, and then I'm going to say, all right, what color do I want my windshield to be? You know what, let's pick a nice dark color, kind of, probably just a good black here. Or actually, what might be kind of cool is pick like a really dark blue. That might be interesting. And so I have a color picked out, and now I can use a paint bucket tool, which I know a lot of you have probably seen paint bucket tools before. We see them in a lot of different drawing programs. And so if I have the paint bucket tool selected, I can click inside my little rectangle there, and boom, it just fills in that area. And so you see how it now it looks like I've got the little windshield here. Now I might want to go back and maybe repeat this process. Here I'm going to make this layer invisible again, because it might be helpful to also grab this little windshield too, and maybe even this one, so you can use it for as many shapes as you want. Another thing I can do with this shape is not only add stuff, but take things away. So here's kind of a different use for it. If I click on the polygonal lasso tool again, and I'm going to make sure I'm on my bottom layer, I'm going to go over here to this empty space in my wings, which, if we remember when we saw my red one, it's all filled in solid there. It doesn't look so good. So on the background layer, polygonal tool, and I'm just going to click kind of at the corners of this little triangle that's formed by the empty space in my wings. And you'll see how now it's got a triangle filled in there. Now I'll make my red layer visible again, and I'll click on it so that layer is selected. And since I have this bit selected here in the triangle, if I want to get rid of that, all I need to do is find the delete button on my keyboard, push it, and there we go. It's just cut that little part out. You can see it's actually just, that little area is gone now. So those are some other cool little adjustments that you can do to refine the way that your shapes look. Have fun.